Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where it's finally stopped raining here in Surrey for about the first time in 2 weeks. I mean, it's due to rain for the next 2 weeks, but we've had a dry day so far, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate by having a look at the 100th Sudoku creation of one of the great constructors in the world of Sudoku. This is the 100th puzzle by the maths professor Dorlir. It's called The Greatest Line, and the rules are incredibly short. Apparently this is a type of line that Dorlir invented. I'm not sure. Oh, actually, I've just realised, is this part of the Scojo exercise that's going on at the moment? Is that why yesterday's puzzle by Matt Tressel had a completely new rule? It might be. I apologise. I don't know whether this is all part of the same exercise, but I can tell you that none other than the great Marty Sears wrote to us overnight to say that we have to have a look at this puzzle. Apparently it is wonderful. I found it on Logic Masters. Look, here it is. Huge approval rating, of course, and the sorts of comments you'd expect in response to any Dorlir puzzle. I'm a huge fan of Dorlir's puzzles. I don't know how many hours of entertainment he's given me over the last few years, but it's a lot. And I'll tell you about these new types of, this new type of line in a moment or two's time when we do the rules. But let me look at my list of other things just to mention. Blueprints. Mark and I are returning to the Blueprints Mansion tomorrow at 10 p.m. UK time, of course, for the 31st time. We'd love to have your company if you're free. I'll try and remember to put a link to that stream on the screen now. Over on Patreon, let's have a look at where we are in terms of Duality 3, which is our competition for the month of February. So it went live on the 1st. You can see this was the situation yesterday. We were almost at 1,500 solves of the first puzzle and at 100 solves of the final puzzle. So we've cruised through 1,500 solves of puzzle number 1 by Riff Clown now. And we're at 118 solves altogether for all 19 puzzles. It's terrific work, it really is. And look how many people who've now got 4 puzzles that have had over 1,000 solves. It's terrific, it really is. It's a testament to the quality of the puzzle setters and also to the cleverness of people who watch this channel. That is really terrific. So well done to everybody. Still loads and loads of time left. The closing date is the 20th of the month. What else? Let's do birthdays. Jasper, it's your birthday today. I know this because your brother, is it Herben? I'm probably mispronouncing that. It's a Dutch name, and I think I'm not meant to pronounce the G. I think it might be Jerben or Herben. I think it's more like to be Herben. I hope I'm not butchering it too bad. You have to give me guidance if I don't know, which I don't. But Jasper, I know you're currently in London, but I think hoping to go back to the Netherlands later in the year. I think your brother's looking forward to that so that he can see you a bit more often. And he's hoping that today you manage to find some chocolate cake, and it is, of course, very heavily iced. Next, it's another name I'm going to get wrong. I'm going to say it could be Miko. It could be Miko or it could be Mikal. I think it's more likely to be a Polish name, so I think that's Miko. Your wife Jennifer, anyway. Hopefully, if you are Miko or Mikal, you will know. You will know once I say your wife Jennifer wrote to me to say that I think you discovered the channel yourself, and then you've started to get into setting Sudoku puzzles, and you've been setting them for Jennifer to do. So she's been solving too. So that's proper conversion to a new hobby. And Miko, I hope you have a great birthday today, and I hope that the chocolate cake is fantastic. And then finally, Katya, your partner Charlie wrote to me, but I remember you both. I've met you both twice, I think, in Stratford-upon-Avon. I think you've come to both shows that we've done in Stratford-upon-Avon. So I do remember, and I hope you enjoy your gifts today, including, I gather, Latvian honey cake. Now that does sound nice. Honey cake. That reminds me of the faraway tree for some reason. Didn't Moonface used to make somebody? I want to say, there's some Enid Blyton book where people had honey cakes, and I think it. Have I gone mad? I might have gone mad. I mean, you'll all be saying, no, you're already mad. No, I want to say that honey cakes appear in the Faraway Tree series of Enid Blyton, and it's something to do with Moonface. That could be total and utter rubbish. Anyway, it's reminded me of childhood. And Katja, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. Now, let's have a look at the rules of The Greatest Line by the great Dorlir. The rules are not going to take long to read, and they are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules applying. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. On each line, there is exactly one cell whose value is greater than the sum of any other 2 cells on that line. Hang on, let me just check the recording's working. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's good. So let's look at that line. What does this mean? On each line, there is exactly one cell whose... So can I just put a 9 on the line and then make these small? Is that what I have to do? I mean, if I do that... I mean, I know this is probably a frivolous and stupid example, but on each line there is exactly one cell, 9, whose value is greater than the sum of any other 2 cells on that line. Yeah, that feels right. I'm going to claim that's a totally valid line. You will all probably disagree with me, but I don't understand why that's wrong. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. This is a bizarre rule. On each line, so do we start with this long line here? On each line, there is exactly one cell. Exactly one cell. Okay, so you can't have... So what you couldn't do, if for example, if we try and put 9 on this line and say that's the greatest number, we can't put 2 9s on the line. There is exactly one cell whose value is greater than the sum of any other 2 cells on that line. So those cells... Right, here is a small deduction that I think is correct. Those 5 cells have to include the greatest value. One of those is the greatest. Because if that wasn't true, and one of these was the greatest, then the minimum value of these digits would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I take 2 of those values, I'll take the 4 and the 5, please. They add up to 9, and therefore one of those digits would have to be greater than 9, and that's not going to work from a Sudoku perspective. So one of those digits is the greatest. But doesn't that apply there as well? Surely I can apply, if I can apply that logic to column 1, I can apply it to row 1 and those 5 digits. So the greatest number, which is only allowed to appear once on the line, that's what it says, has to be both in those 5 cells and these 5 cells. Well, okay, so that's in the corner then. That must be correct. Well, I say it must be correct. It's probably wrong, but that is I'm going to call that G. That is the greatest number on this line. So, okay. So G is 9. That's got to be correct. Well, I say that. I feel that's correct. Because now, if we turn to the cells on the line that are not the greatest number, those cells, and I minimize them, I can make them 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I minimize those cells, I can make them 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that means there's 2 4s on the line at a minimum. Those were the how do you explain this? The 2 digits, or no, there is a digit in column 1 that is at least as high as 4 and is not the greatest digit. And there is a different occurrence of such a digit in row 1 that is not the greatest digit, that is at least a 4. So the minimum value of the digits that are the best of the rest, if you like, the biggest of the rest, the biggest of the digits that aren't the greatest, the minimum you could make those be is a 4 and a 4. And a 4 and a 4 is 8, and the biggest digit must be more than 8. Because that's what the rules say. So we have to put 9 in the corner, I think. And these digits and these digits have to be 1, 2, 3 and 4, because if we tried to put 5, for example, in either, we'd be adding 5 to 4 at least, and we get 9, and then this would have to be a 10. This is a very odd rule, but I quite like it. Now, yeah, so these are 1, 2, 3 and 4 as well. We can't have digits, any digits on this line that are not 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. Now, okay, I don't know what to do. Is it those? They've got to be, they're from 5, 6, 7 and 8. So one of those is the greatest. Because on this line, let's just have a different colour for the greatest. Orange might... Is orange better? I don't know. Maybe red? Maybe I'll go red, actually. Or no, I prefer purple, just as a general... Oh, that's a much... Yeah, I prefer purple as a general principle. Yeah, one of those has got to be the greatest. Because if not, we'd be saying there's a greatest digit that's at least equal to 5 plus 6 on this line. And that's 11, and that doesn't exist in Sudoku. So one of those is the greatest. Yeah, okay, I sort of understand this. So I think that's got to be an 8-5 pair. Because if it was, I could fill these appropriately. If I minimise those, one of these is the greatest, one of them's quite a big digit. If I minimise these two, I'm adding at least a 2 to the quite big digit here, and I've got to beat that with the greatest digit. So if I make... the only way you can possibly do this is with 8 equaling 5 plus 2 as the 2 other digits that are the greatest on the line. Nothing else will work. I mean, say you tried to do 6, 6 and 8 here. Well, because these can't be the same digit, one of these is at least a 2, and 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. It's not less than it, which it should be. So I think that's 5 and 8. This is 1 and 2. This is not 1 and 2. So this is not 3 and 4. So this is not 1 and 2. So this is not 3 and 4. It's quite nice, isn't it? It's sort of going round in a circle. And one of those is the greatest, but I don't know which one. And in this box now, it's 6 and 7 that we haven't put in. And now that digit is not 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 6 or 7. Oh, okay, where are 6 and 7 in this box? We can put them in. That's got to be 6, 7. This has got to be 5, 8, 9. So this digit, the thing is, if it's 9, it's obviously going to be the biggest. And then they could be, well, again, we could just have 1, 2, 3 here, probably. Oh, no, we could. If that was a 3 and that was 1 and 2, and then that was tiny, that would be fine. You could probably get away with this being much smaller. Or you can probably get away with this... Well, actually, you can't put an 8 on a line unless it is the greatest digit, because you'll be adding at least 1 to the digit 8. Here's another point that might be correct. Whatever that digit is, it can't repeat on the line. Because if it repeats on the line, it's axiomatically, according to the rules, not the greatest digit. and yet it's at least equal to 5. So it would be possible to say, okay, I'll add 5 to 5, and I need a digit on the line that's the greatest digit that beats 10, and there obviously are no such digits. So hang on. Does that mean... No, it doesn't mean that's the greatest digit, you silly man. No, it just means it really can't repeat on the line. Oh, okay. I don't know what to do with that. It's very hard to know. It might be this line. Although we know something about that cell. That cell is high. That's at least 5. But again, why can't... I mean, there might be a very good reason, and you're all going to shout at me when I say this, but there must... I don't understand why there's a reason why they couldn't just be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then that could be the greatest digit on the line, and it would just have to beat a count of 7, so it would still have to be 8 or 9. Or you could have the greatest digit in that sequence. That might have to be 9 if you did that, because you could put... If the greatest digit was one of those digits, then you know this digit, which is still quite a big digit, is not the biggest digit. And you could accompany the greatest digit with a 1, 2, 3 triple in this column, but then you'd be adding at least 3 to this digit as your 2 digits that were sort of the next greatest that weren't the greatest, if you see what I mean. So you'd be adding at least 3 to 5, and so you'd have to have 9 in there. Yeah, I don't know then. It's weird. If you know where the greatest digit... Like, if I knew one of those was the greatest digit, that would be terrific. I've got a horrible feeling I'm meant to know, and they've got the same thing here, haven't you? You've got... That's quite a big digit, but then these digits can't include exclusively low digits, which is a bit different to that string, because you can have 2 low digits on there. You can have one of the digits 1 and 2 and one of the digits 3 and 4. And then, hang on, right, right, sorry, here's a point. This line has 2 high digits on it, and I know that's one of them. Right, that's important, isn't it? Yeah, the way I'm thinking about this is that these 3 cells here, I don't know if they include the high digit or not, but I do know that you can't just select these from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because if you'd made those cells 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'd have too many 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4 cells in row 4. So one of these digits is a big digit. So now this line, I know its nature. Because the digit, I don't know which one it is. It might be this one, or it might be the digit here that's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. That digit that's not the greatest digit is going to be added, and that digit is at least a 5, remember. That digit is going to be added to a number that's at least a 3, because I can't put 1 and 2 on here. I can only put one of them. And then I could put one of 3 and 4, and it's the one that's 3 or 4 that I'm adding to the one of these that's 5, and it will be a 5, to get to 8, and then I'm going to have to beat 8 with the greatest digit, which is going to be a 9. So this line, I actually sort of know its makeup. It's going to be a 5, but I don't know if that's here or here. Oh, no, I don't know. Hang on. It's okay, I know there's a 3. I know there's a 3, because it's the 3 that's being added to the 5. If instead of 3 I picked 4 for one of these, I'd be adding 4 to 5, and then I'd have to beat 9 for the greatest. I can't do that. So this digit is 4. This is really, it's a very weird and interesting rule, this. But yeah, the other thing is, there's a 1 or a 2 here, because there's whatever this isn't. But I don't think it matters in a way, because it's not going to count for this. Yeah, the way I'm starting to realise you have to think about the line is there's a greatest digit, and then there's the next 2 digits, and they're the crucial ones, the next 2 lowest after the greatest. And after that, you could have anything on the line, providing it's lower, and you don't care. You don't care how low it goes. So I don't care if it's got 2 or 1 on it, this line. It doesn't matter from the point of view of the restriction. But there is a 5 or a 9 in here as well. So these digits are from 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, and forgive the pencil mark, but I think that is not the most stupid pencil mark ever. That is not a 3. So, okay, that's not a 3. So the 3 is in one of those cells. Yeah, this is good. This is good, isn't it? Because now this digit is high. By which I mean it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And now one of those must be the greatest digit on this line. Because if neither of these were the greatest, we'd be adding up. The greatest would be at least a 5 plus a 6 plus an extra 1 in order to be the greatest, if you see what I mean. So one of those is the greatest, and we're adding to one of those, whichever one is not the greatest, we're adding 1s, 2s and 3s in these cells. And how do we know it's 1s, 2s and 3s? Well, how could it not be? If one of these is a 4, we're adding 4 to 5 at least, and we're having to beat it for the greatest. So these are 1, 2 and 3. And these, it's the same. This is a 5, 9 pair, but again, I don't know the order. But maybe. Oh, right. Okay, we're going to just change tack. Hang on. I know that's an 8 now. And that's a 5. So I know that's the greatest. I don't know if it matters, but that's certainly true. But also, I know that's the same as that. I know this isn't 5 or 9, because these are different. So this digit is not 5 or 9, because it's C. Okay, I don't think it matters too much which of these is the greatest, but let's just colour them. Just because I think we can. That is orange, and one of these is yellow, and that's in one of those 2 cells. Oh, yeah, so that's an 8. Because, there's a 5, 9 pair looking at this square, so this is 8. This is 5, 9. This line's no, this line's different. I don't think this is going to have to be 5, 9, 1. Well, because it doesn't have to have 1, 2, and 3 on it. This one did. So, do they have to be 1? Yeah, that's it. Right. This little stub of this line, we've got to put some digits on it. Now, what digits have we got available to choose from? We cannot have any digit higher than 3, because then we're going to include it in our count along with whichever one of these is 5, and it's going to break the line. So these have to be 1, 2, and 3, and that digit is not 3 because 3 is on this line, and that digit is not 3 because there's a 3 looking at it here. Do I know those are different? Then hang on. Oh, well, actually, no, I've got a 1, 2 pair in this column. So this, right, that's done it. So this digit is the 5 or 9 digit. These digits are not colourable. At least I don't think they are. But that one of these is a 3 and one of them is a 1 or a 2. I don't think I can. If I knew these were different, then I could get myself a 3 here for the sake of. I don't see how to do it. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't see how to do it. I have got this 1, 2, 3 triple. I don't think. Oh, bobbins. I don't know where to go then. So, hang on. Let's look at this row. Can we say anything clever about this row? We've got a 5-9 pair. I know these are different, so these can't be 5s and 9s. Because obviously these two cells see the oranges and lemons in the grid. So these can't be oranges and lemons. I'm not sure. Okay. So where do we look next? Sudoku? That fair-weathered friend? Can we do anything with you? I don't. I'm not sure. Okay, here's something. 6 and 7 are a pair in this row. Look, that's got to be a 6-7 pair, because that's just row 4's natural completion. One of those is the greatest digit on this little triple line, because if this didn't include the greatest digit, they would be at least a 4-5 pair, and this would have to be the greatest and beat 9, which it couldn't do. So one of those is the greatest. I don't know what to do. That's not a 3 by Sudoku. So again, if I knew those were different, I would know that this was a 3. 3 is in one of those 3 cells by Sudoku in box 6. Which is probably, and hang on, that digit's not terribly low anymore. It could still be 4. It's at least, oh, hang on, it can't be 6 or 7 either. What's this digit? 4, 5, 8, 9 by Sudoku. So what does that mean for this line? I don't know. How can it be difficult to work out? Okay, one of those is the greatest, again, because 6 plus 4 is too big. So one of these is the greatest. That is a principle I think I have understood. So if, say, 7 was the greatest... Oh, that could work. That's rotten. If 7 was the greatest, then if this was a 1-2 pair and this was a 4, it would work, because you would be adding a 4 to a 2, and you can beat that with 7, so that can definitely be 7. 7, 4, 1, 2 pair. That might not work for some Sudoku-y reason, but it looks like it works. But if this is, and that's if this is the greatest. If this is the greatest, you can't make this 6, because this would be 4, this would be a 1-2 pair, and 4 plus 2 is already 6. So if this is the greatest, it is 7. If this is the greatest, we're adding at least 6 to at least a 1-2 pair. So this would be a 9. Yeah, okay, so that's... Right. So that does matter. That does matter. Let's think about this line again. But I think what we're learning is that this is a 1-2 pair. I think. I might be wrong. But if this is the greatest, we're 4, 1, 2. That's definitely true. If this is the greatest, we're adding 6 to at least 2. Well, we can't add it to more than 2, so this always has to be a 1-2 pair, and that is never a 3. And now in row 6, this is a 3 by using the 1-2 pair, and this is a 3. So this is not a 3. So this is a 3. We did work out there was a 3 on this line. And now, well, now I might bother to colour my 1s and 2s. Actually, hang on. If we do colour 1s and 2s, where's the best place to start colouring? Maybe here, because then we get some communication. So let's give that, we'll make them the 2 green colours maybe. So now this has to be dark green, which makes this dark green and this light green. And this light green. And yeah, that's working. That has got me some communication. So now I get that pattern. And can we do, I don't know if I can get that to go over here. Ah, that one is a little one as well, isn't it? Yeah, that does. That's great. So we can keep going with my colouring. I've got lots of light green. Oh no, I've got too many almost. So there is a lime green down there. And there is a lime green down there. And one of those two. Dark green I can place in this box. Because there are 4 dark greens looking at box 3. And whenever you get a situation where 4 of a digit is looking at a box, you're always going to be able to place that digit if you sort of just concentrate on it a bit. Oh, I see, right. Yeah, we've got a pair down here. This is a 1-2 pair. And there's a dark green in one of those, but I don't think I know which one. I wonder if I should have coloured 3s and 4s as well. I'm not sure, but I've got a 6, 7, 8 triple to complete box 2. So this digit, in this triple here, you can see the 8 is in box 2, so this couldn't be an 8. And one of these, so these are 3, 4, and 9. And I know that I don't, well, do I want, if that's a 9, it's not putting any pressure on that digit. But if it's a 4, it can't work. Oh, no, it could, because that would be high. I see. Oh, so I don't know. Or I don't think I know. That's not 3 by Sudoku. Golly, okay, I don't know what to do now. What about that digit? Oh, I don't want it to be a 3 or a 4. Oh, in fact, no, it's good. It's better than that. Look at this column. Where's 3? That's actually been available for ages. So the 4 in this column is placed as well. So it's probably the Z line that we have to think about. Yeah, this has to, well, actually, it has to be the greatest, doesn't it? If this wasn't the greatest, we'd be adding 4 and 5 together, and then we'd have to beat 9 with the greatest. So this is the greatest. And therefore, it's got to be 9. Because if it's 5, we're adding these two, for example, together and we're not beating them. So that's 9, and that means everything else on this line can't be higher than 4. So these digits have to be from 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that one can't be 1, 2. It's lovely, isn't it? So that's double 4 here. That doesn't mean this can't be a 4. In fact, it means this is a 3 by Sudoku. It sees a 1, 2 pair and it sees a 4 in the column. So that's a 3. So we might get a 3 in the corner down there. That's going to be the only 3 we could possibly get in a corner. So that line, okay, that's good. That's good. Now, that's 5 then. So this digit's not 5. I'm not sure whether... No, that doesn't work. So we've got to put 5 in one of those two cells. How did this line work? It was either 6 and this was a 9. Could this ever be 8? Seven, 4, 1, 2 was one option. 6, 9, 1, 2 was the other. No, that can't be 8. I think I could have corrected that pencil mark ages ago. 8's in this box. Is that in one of those? It's in one of those two cells then. So 8. Oh no, we already knew that as well. Sorry, there's loads of things we already knew that I haven't understood or appreciated. 6, 7, 8. Maybe column 2? What do we have to place in there? 6, 7, 9. Oh, bother. You know what that's going to do? That's going to put 9 on this bottom line. Yeah, well, I think it probably is. Could we... That line's done. Yeah, it's okay. It's all about trying to find... It's so important on all these lines. If you can find 2 cells on the line that have to be what I'll describe as high, then it's really powerful. Look at that cell. That cell can't be 1, 2, because there's a 1, 2 pair, 3, 4, 5. So that is at least a 6. And so's this one. So one of these has to be the greatest digit. And whichever one, yeah, and that means this is a 1, 2 pair, because whichever one of these is not the greatest is at least 6, and we're adding at least a 2 to it if this was a 1, 2 pair. So this must be a 1, 2 pair, otherwise the world doesn't make sense. So that means this is going to do all my colouring. So that's now got to be green. This has got to be lime green, which means this has got to be lime green, and that is not. So this line is probably where we go next, isn't it? And this is a 6-9 pair, very explicitly a 6-9 pair, because one of these is at least 6 and is not the greatest. Now, what, if anything, do we do with that? I don't know, but I think it might be this line now. I worked out one of these was the greatest, because otherwise they would be 4 and 5, which actually they can't even be a 4-5 pair now, because that would make both of those cells have to equal 9. So one of these is the greatest, one of them is at least a 4, and then we're adding to that whatever this digit is. So, but you can't do double 4 on this. Is that the point? Do you have to have 3 on the line, maybe? Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Sorry, I'm being very dense there. But on this line, what would happen if there was no 3 on the line? Then the two lowest digits on the line, the ones that weren't the greatest, would be at least 4 and 5. So and because we know there's no 1 and 2 on the line, the simplest deduction, which I was trying to avoid because I wanted a 3 in the corner, is to say there has to be a 3 on the line. So now these two digits have to be, well, you could have 5, couldn't you? It's either a 4 or a 5 is the digit that's not the greatest, and then the greatest is either 8 or 9, depending on whether it's 4 or 5 here. Yeah, but that's very lovely, actually, because now what we can do is we can look at those cells. Look, if I just flash those, they are only selectable from 4, 5, 8, 9. So perhaps, okay, there might have been a different way to see this. I think there's a 6, 7 pair in this column. Well, that's good though. So 8 is not there. So it seems to want to put an 8 here. Because I've got this 8 pencil mark here. I mean, let's trust that logic. That seems right, doesn't it? So this is going to be a 5, which makes that a 5. Right, so that's a 5. This is 9. This is 9. Using our earlier logic. Now this, okay, so this doesn't have 5 on it. Which doesn't tell us whether it's got 8 or 9 on it, though. It could have either, because all we're trying to beat here is 7. That can't be 9, though, because I've got a 6, 9 pair in the row. Oh, hang on. Hang on, there's a 4. Well, okay, once we got this 5, what was left was a 4, 8, 9 triple. So there's an 8, there is an 8 on this line, along with a 4, and that's fine, because what we're doing is we're saying 4 plus 3 has to be less than 8, and it is indeed less than 8. So that's a 9 up here. And that's probably important, although I can't see why. We've got lots of... Maybe I should have just highlighted 9. No, there's no point, is there? Oh, hang on. That's a 6. So that's a 9. So that wasn't the greatest, and this was the greatest. And so that's not 9. I think maybe I should have coloured 6s and 7s as well, but we're doing it our own way, and that's fine. 6, 7, 1, 2... 4, 8, 9 left to place in here. So these are from 4, 8, 9. And that is a naked single 8. It sees 4 and 9 in the row. So this is a 4, 9 pair. And, I feel like, I don't know actually. I'm not sure whether I'm meant to do Sudoku. I probably am meant to do Sudoku and I'm resisting it. I still don't know how that line works, which is really weird. It still could be a 6 here with a 1, 2 pair and that being a 9, or a 7 here with this being a 4. How strange. So, I don't know. I'm not sure where to look. It could be... How are we going to do the 1s and the 2s? What's going to disambiguate those? Actually, that is a real question, isn't it? There must be something. Because have I plotted them all? I think I have. I think I've got one of them in every box. So it must be the... Hang on. I don't know. I don't get that actually. Something in the puzzle has to disambiguate the 1s and the 2s, and I'm not seeing what that can possibly be. Oh, that's fascinating. What is it? Ah, that's a 5, I've just noticed. I definitely don't think it's that. Let's be clear. So I've got a 7-8 pair to place in column 5. These digits are now a 6-7-8 triple. But okay, so I've got a 6-7-8 triple in column 6, which means the 2 digits at the bottom are a 4-5 pair. And these digits are from 7, 8, 9. Oh, this is weird. This is, I mean, I'm really quite... I'm probably being really dumb and forgetting a rule here, but what is it that you're missing, Simon? 1, 2, 3. So 4, is it 7 or something? 4, 5, 7, 8. Oh, hang on, there's a line here. It's this line. I didn't see this line. I don't think I've ever looked at it. But okay, let's look at this line. Yeah, the biggest digit on that is 5. Okay, that's huge, isn't it? Because how do you make these small enough? It's got to be a 1-3 pair, and that does it. Right, that's great. So we can, because if this was any bigger than 1-3, this couldn't be the biggest digit. So we can double-click the dark green, that's 1. Double-click the light green, that's 2. Make this a 3. Make that a 3 and that a 4. Right. That's great, but it's not... Has it done much more than just unwind this, the 1, 2, 3s? I got this 3. That must be somehow important. How does that help me? Have I got all the 3s in the puzzle? Yeah, I've got all the 3s. So have I got all the 4s? No. No, I haven't. Can I get all the 4s? I definitely know there's a 4 in one of these cells. These are 4, 6, 7. Yeah, it's probably some little Sudoku. Oh, there's a 6-7 pairing row thingy in row 7. So 5s, 8s, and 9s are what we're looking to place. So this digit is 5 or 8. It sees 9 in the column. And this digit is 5 or 9. And that's a chocolate teapot. Look, those. Maybe we've got to colour 6s and 7s. That's entirely possible. No. Hang on. There's a 5 up here. So that's a 9. Beautiful. Right, there we go. So that fixes this. That 8's lovely. So that gives me 7, 9, 8 in the middle of the grid. Now, how do we take that forward? This 9 gives me a 4 here. Right, so that's putting 9 on this line, which we know had to go with a 6 here. So that might do all my 6s and 7s. That's now a 6. Yeah, 6 and 7. That's a 4. That's a 7, 6. This is 6. This is 7. That's 7. That's 8. Oh, Dorlir, you are very, very gifted. My goodness. This is a 6, that's an 8, that does my 8, that does my 4, 5, and there. That is very, very lovely. I've messed up a bit because I haven't put the greatest onto every line, which I should do, shouldn't I? Just so we make sure that we're consistent. So this line, so that's the yellow there is definitely the greatest. The yellow there is definitely the greatest. Get rid of the orange. I think I probably put one on. Oh no, yeah, I think I've put one on every line. There we go. There we go. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant puzzle. That's absolutely weird, magical, wonderful, and exceptionally clever. And yeah, really, really enjoyed it. I think I made a bit of a Horlicks of the Sudoku at the back end. First time for everything. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.